I want to welcome everybody here to Congregation Mikveh Israel. We're so honored and pleased for you to join us here on this rainy day as we welcome Freedom Song, and it's our privilege and pleasure to welcome them here all the way from LA. They're doing a tour of the East Coast. But a little bit of our congregation, we're one of the oldest synagogues in America, but we understand that the issue we face is even older than our synagogue. And so I'm going to introduce you to Carol Pine, who does so much to combat addiction in our community, and she'll talk a little bit about her organization.
Thanks, Robert. My name is Carol Pine. I'm a person in long-term recovery from alcoholism and also the co-founder of an organization here in Savannah called the Interfaith Addiction and Recovery Coalition. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We're young, and our reason for being is simple. You may not know this, but nearly 1 in 3 people in the pews of any faith community anywhere in this country is struggling with issues around addiction or someone they love who is addicted. Meanwhile, the faith leaders in our country are not getting exposure to the subject of addiction and recovery in their seminary training. So what we've decided to do is to create a program here, educational programs for our faith leaders of all faiths, so they understand what this issue is. They don't have to become therapists, but they certainly can offer hope and help because they know what our resources are and they know that there is help to be found. So thank you for being here. Thank you for caring enough to learn about this disease. It is not a moral failing, it is a disease.
And immediately following, there'll be a discussion here, and then everybody's invited to a reception in our social hall immediately following. We're going to, in a little while, we'll close those doors. And then for people to exit, you'll go out the doors behind us through that door over there to conclude. So thank you again for joining us. Without further ado, I'm going to invite Michael from Freedom Song.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Carol. I'm going to introduce Laura Bagish, who's our musical director. So thank you for having us, and thank you for being here on this. Wow, it looks like it's actually raining pretty hard out there now. In any case, we come from a place called Beit Teshuvah. Beit Teshuvah in LA is a long-term alcohol, drug, and gambling treatment facility in LA. Long-term used to be by us between 12, sometimes 12 to 18 months. Now it's more like 6 to 7 months. And no one is turned away due to lack of funds. We are now we are also a 501c3 as well. Our main source of funding is from private donations. However, we do take Medicare. I think out here it's called Medicaid, right? Or no? Your state insurance. In any case, we've got a bit of a unique style. What makes Beit Teshuvah really, really special is that we've created a community, right? And it's a community not only of sober people, but of families who have also been affected by addiction, and also people who realize that you don't have to be an addict to be in recovery. And you definitely do not have to be an addict to be affected by addiction. Addiction is a family disease. So what you're about to see is a play that we created 20 years ago. It's very, very special. In fact, tonight you are going to be witnessing and being able to experience the writer of this play, or I should say the theatricalizer, that's a new word I just made up, of this play, because this play was actually written by putting about 15 people into a room for about 3-4 weeks, them telling their stories, and then Stuart K. Robinson, who you'll meet shortly on stage for our entertainment, I should say, put it together and created Freedom Song. We take 2 national tours a year. We do one in the spring and one in the fall. They're usually about 10 days to 2 weeks, usually about 5 to 6 performances apiece. You are the 4th performance in a tour of 5 performances. We've been to Nashville, 2 shows in Atlanta, Savannah here, and then we're off to Jacksonville on day after tomorrow. So in any case, what you're about to see is this. On this side of the stage is a typical Jewish family Passover Seder. For those of you who are not Jewish and who don't know what I'm talking about, imagine Thanksgiving. I only say that because of the family dynamic, right? Not of the religious part, but of the family dynamic. And in fact, the family dynamic here is probably more important than the religious part. But on Passover, for anybody who does know, what does Passover celebrate? Freedom from slavery, right. For those of you who aren't Jewish but who are in recovery, 12-step meeting, when we are addicts, we are coming out of slavery, right, and hopefully to freedom. So we're going to take those two groups, and we're going to meld them together. Okay. We're also going to show that things are often not exactly what they seem to be on both sides, that just because you're in recovery doesn't make you perfect, and just because you're in this perfect family doesn't mean it's perfect either. The show is not meant to entertain you. This show is meant to expose you to some things that we, especially in the Jewish community, don't put enough emphasis on, don't put enough light on. We have not yet gotten to the point where we have normalized addiction. And we'll keep on having issues until we take it out of the shadows, until we make it that it's okay to come into our synagogues, right, and be seen going into an AA meeting and not have everybody whispering behind our backs, "Look, there go the addicts." So hopefully what will happen is that we, through our integrity, our honesty, and our transparency, by the end of the show, that will actually enable you to have those same qualities towards us, and we'll be able to have a conversation about things that we don't necessarily always, that we don't speak about in community. And what we also know is when we speak in community about things that are difficult to talk about, it actually makes us a closer community. So with that being said, I'm going to hand the show and the stage over to, by the way, Bobby P. back there on lights, right? To Laura Bagish and to the cast of Freedom Song. Thank you.
stage is dark. Slowly the lights come up and reveal a desperate-looking man. The man is a recovery addict. He spent time behind bars. A thought which makes you, the audience, slightly uneasy. But a rabbi comes forward to bless the audience.
On this night of Passover, may we be blessed with the courage to leave behind the comforts of slavery, with the strength to rid ourselves of the puffed up parts of our egos, with the grace to accept our proper places. May the Holy One open our eyes to the beauty of living free, and our hearts to the need to be part of a community that cares for the powerless and the voiceless, for the poor and the material as well as the spiritual, for the one who's orphaned for their family, and the one who's orphaned for their own soul. May the Holy One bless the community that cares for the stranger in each of us and the stranger among us.
This rabbi, he ain't no rabbi.
Things are seldom what they seem to be. This rabbi is a recovering addict. He has spent time behind bars.
The musician is a musician.
Group madness takes their place on the stage. The stage is not a stage. These actors, they're not actors. A thought which makes all of the actors slightly uneasy.
However, one was able to convince his family that the neighborhood children stole the flat screen television.
And another tried to convince his parents he had ADHD in order to get back on the
Another successfully convinced his family he had to make freedom trips to the bathroom because he had a stomach.
And another played the role of loving Mike's mother and sister until she could no longer.
So, you see, in many ways, these actors are actors. The writers were not writers.
But we all have a story to tell. Because these are seldom what they seem to be.
The stage and the people on it are in chaos.
And Seder means order.
We pass down the picture of the struggle we're in, wrestling angels and demons, and in between them lies us. Plus the motivation to rise up, a yearn for peace, a condition of a human being, tragedy and triumph. It all plays out in the end. What shall be, but in the end, it all depends on us.
From generation to generation, it is the responsibility of every to see himself as if he personally made an exodus from slavery.
In our needs, each member has no one responsibility to keep coming back. The rest, we take one day at a time.
This one special night each year, we gather loved ones to share gratitude for the freedom we enjoy.
We join together tonight to remind each other to just hold on, because we made it through this night, we're moving forward to one more day.
The road heads me new,
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us by his commandments and commanded us concerning the removal of chametz. Our Torah tells us that we were to eat no leaven during the Exodus. So we have searched the corners of our home to remove any leaven. And now we must search and remove that which compels us to remain in slavery in Egypt.
For as long as I can remember, I felt like I fit in. At school, on the streets, at family dinners. I couldn't shake this unbearable feeling that it just didn't belong. So I created my own escape. Me, the bottom, one big happy family.
Sure, the Seder is long, but it's a chance for us all to get together, to break bread, to know each other better. No matter how far the world may come, this one night each year, we can each rest assured there's a place where we're always welcome.
One step at a time, I need to make amends to the people who no longer want me in their lives. Because of the things I've done. Because they feel I chose drugs and alcohol instead of them. Now, I must choose life over certain death. Being present over escape. But it's hard. Sometimes it seems unbearable. Old habits die hard.
Before the sun rises, I think about dough.
My eyes and I
Gotta hide my sin, gotta find a place where I can fit in. Who knows what I might give in, so I gotta stop thinking about high. Gotta think about how to leave the past behind. Gotta heal my soul, gotta stop my mind. 24/7, 365. Gotta stop thinking about high.
I go my job. I walk in high.
I'm so happy I lay down.
It's all right now,
It's hard to stay sober when you wanna get high. Find a place where I can fit in. Who knows when I might give in, so I gotta stop thinking about high. Gotta think about how to leave the past behind. Gotta heal my soul, gotta stop my mind. 24/7, 365. And I gotta stop thinking about high. And I gotta start thinking about high. And I gotta start thinking about
The angel of death visited every home, turned away from its gruesome purpose only by a smear of lamb's blood on the lintel of the doorway. To this day, the angel of death lurks at every doorstep, searching to see what is on the lintel.
Whoa, but Rabbi, we've already redeemed, we cry, puffing ourselves up with mythical entitlement. Well, this love and this faith can repel this dreaded apparition.
Chapter 5 of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, How It Works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands
Rigorous honesty.
Seder means order. Each Pesach, we follow this order of observances. From generation to generation, it is something that we can always count on to stay the same.
Yeah, you mean like an old soul always sitting upstairs to check the score of the Labor Day?
And each observance has a name, which you recite.
Come on, guys, it's the waiters.
And will always take a large plate of food to go.
Sure, ask it. And we will all pretend to like something that tastes disgusting. Go to the dish.
I think about it.
Dish, please join me in the first cup of wine.
Get smashed more often. Amen.
In those times, the big bottle of wine was always there. It was a social event. Everyone was laughing. Until they weren't. It was 2 in the morning and I could rush. I pretended to be asleep. My mother was crying. I could hear my father's heavy footsteps staggering towards the bedroom. I don't want it to be Passover again.
This grape juice is ridiculous. What am I, a child? This is a holiday for wine.
But not all day for police and audit. Look, I love him. The time is not just for decoration. Time to sit down and drink your grape juice, Morris.
Or chatz.
I'm always reminded of that first bath when Joey was born. Those tiny hands and delicate feet. No tears. He just lay there, looking up at me. So peaceful and so trusting.
I'm reminded of when my father washed his hands with me. I was strung out, living in my car. I hadn't showered in weeks. I went to his house and begged him to let me in, but he wouldn't, because I couldn't trust him.
Abba, I was thinking, this year, instead of pouring a glass of wine for Elijah, do you think we could pour a glass for Shira?
I don't know that any children in this house.
Abba, she's my sister.
She's still a girl. Yeah, she doesn't act like one. She's a Shonda, an embarrassment to this family. She caused us all grief, but still she's our blood. You remember? Remember? I remember this isn't a police station. I remember putting locks on every door in this house, so she would steal everything I owned to buy her drugs. I'm a prisoner in my own home, and she's a free woman.
You're not perfect either. You drink, you get out of control.
No, just respect your father. Besides, you can't compare when you drink so much cigarette.
And what about you? The fire, the insurance money, you still get to come to dinner?
I won't have this kind of talking about his hair. Relax, Morris, he's a child. Now let's check for the game.
Every heart has a doorway. We run to slam it shut in the face of the angel of death. But we dare not knock, lest we miss the arrival of the Redeemer.
Virgil, when you're done playing on your phone, would you like to share with us?
Virgil. Hi.
Hi, Virgil.
Look, I know we're all addicts here, but is there some reason so many of you seem incapable of picking up your own coffee cups after a meeting?
Well, that's all that's hey,
It's not a joke. I'm not your mommy.
That's funny. You sure act like her.
look, Virgil. It's more than coffee cups and all. But don't you think it's time you finally shared something real with us?
What are you talking about?
You know what we're talking about. You, your wife. What are you going to hold up to that?
You gotta deal with it, man.
Not using it is not enough. Each room is interrupted by an unexpected visitor.
I'm Shira, the disowned, vanished college child.
The drug addict, the thief, sugar.
It's nice to see you, almost all.
God, what's to show your face around here? The drugs must erase your memory.
Uncle Saul.
Well, that's true.
And I'm Norma. I'm Virgil's wife.
What are you doing here, Norma?
You said you were going home, Virgil. You said you just need to get yourself together. It's been a year.
Yeah, will you come in here and spy on me? Isn't going to make that happen any faster.
Plan, we think you're sick to nothing. What a whole year story. You get us fixing that.
You should not be here, Norma. This meeting is for people in recovery.
He's got a point.
Well, my shoe says you're either in recovery or in denial.
She's got that point. You have no right to be here.
I just want to be home. For a face off.
Whoever is hungry, let him come eat. Morris, whoever's need is already enough. Now we are here. Next year, we will be in the land of Israel. Now we are slaves. Next year, we will be free.
Each Pesach, we ask questions.
The simple child, the one that they had asked, what does he say? I have a question. How am I expected to live without my closest friend? He's an alcoholic for me. I ended up killing all the relationships around me. I lost my wife, I lost my kids, I lost my business, I lost myself. I was all alone. Just me, and God. I have a question. Why was I good enough to make you stay? You were my best friend, my hero. You said you loved me and you just left. Even when you were here, it's like you were someplace else. I called out to you, and you didn't answer. What was so wrong with me that you went away?
You see an adult. I cannot do anything. I can do everything. Here's the man I married.
I'm 2 weeks sober. Will I ever find the part of myself that I have lost?
The part of myself that I have lost.
Why is this like different? All this time.
May the Lord protect and defend you.
How could I trash my father's memory?
What is slavery? Who will save me?
How could my father send my sister to the street?
When do we?
Why can't I just smoke crack once a week?
When do we? When do we?
Magid, the story.
Moses was in Egypt land. Let my people go. Oppressed so hard he could not stand. Let my people go.
were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt. But Adonai, our God, took us out from there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Had not the Holy One, blessed is He, taken our fathers out from Egypt, then we, our children, and our children's children would have remained enslaved to Pharaoh in Egypt.
My name is Sam, and I'm an addict.
Hi, Sam.
I smoked a lot of pot in high school. I eventually graduated to snorting cocaine. And then smoking crystal meth. Before I knew it, I was a total slave to my addiction. You know, I did a lot of things that I'm not so proud of. But now, I have these meetings. I share my experience. I hear hope from others. And I just hold on. Even if we were all out of wisdom, understanding, experience, and knowledge of the Torah, it would still be an obligation upon us to tell about the Exodus. The more one tells about the Exodus, the more he is praiseworthy.
God saw our affliction, the disruption of family life, and God took note. Hi, I'm Shayna. I'm Matt.
Hey, Shayna.
You know, I came from a nice Jewish family, but it didn't matter. I had to separate myself from them and my home to be closer to my drugs and my secrets. I couldn't tell them that the drugs came first. I would have done anything for just one more high. I would have sold my soul. Instead, I sold my body.
The identified patient has no patience for the lies that enslave her. They paint her the black sheep. They wrote on her sleeve, she got no back seat. And Virgil has a problem as well. He feels like he's living in hell, but what can he do? He can't do nothing. But there's always something, always something, always something. And in the end, it all depends on us.
I do not sleep, and
The Omnipresent has bestowed so many favors upon us.
And he brought us out of Egypt without executing judgments against the Egyptians.
Ratza.
Stage is silent. Tension so thick, every man and woman can taste it. As if with a single eye, each person wonders.
How did it all get so wrong?
Yet, they also wonder.
To all who felt the tender bliss, the streams of waves of naturalness, some might not know the secret. this.
Sorry, Norma, I just can't do this.
Please stop.
Just leave me alone.
Say it talk to her.
What else, Sheena? Get out of my way!
You're gonna treat me like you treated her? You think we didn't know? I'm not scared of you. I've been dealing with assholes like you my whole life. Where's your program, man? You think you can claim to be in recovery and run from the mess you made?
Why should you care?
Because you're what I love, you jerk. Because I have less overtime. Don't you think every one of us would have liked to run and scream and hide and act like we hate the world? Look around you. We need you to be better each day.
The Torah tells us that no soul can be left behind.
This is not an idea. It is law. And it applies to every individual, no matter how lost. And to every family, even yours.
Brought us out from there so that he might take us to the land which he had promised to our fathers. We celebrate 365 days of continuous sobriety. Virgil.
Morris, this is the part where we tell the story about the Exodus from Egypt. Cheer up. You've come all this way. Tell your story.
No, please, please. I know most of you don't like me, but somehow you still manage to care. No one's ever stood up to me the way Shayna did, for my own good. And for that, I'd like to thank you. So to celebrate my 1 year of sobriety, I'd like to read a letter that I wrote to the lost child inside my heart.
Instead of reading from the Haggadah, I would like to say something from my heart to my family. Then I will leave your home.
Dear lost child,
Love me or not, whether you believe me or not, I still love all of you. I know I've hurt each one of you beyond repair.
I know where you are, lost child. I've been there before.
Where you walk down the street and no one acknowledges your presence.
I've felt the pain that you feel and the emptiness you can't fill no matter how hard you try.
Believe me, I know how hard each of you have tried to understand and to forgive my weakness.
I've been lost and held your head in my hands and cried your tears.
Everything where you are is dead and you're stuck being alive.
The familiar places you've been so many times are now cold and lifeless, and you've forgotten where home is.
But I want to come home. I'm here to make amends to all of you.
I want you to know
my voice.
Home is not where it once was. Home will never be the same.
But you have to choose to listen to your heart, to your soul.
I know that things won't ever be the way they were.
I have to be faith again and again.
Home is in your heart.
It's not a person or a place.
It is certainly not a drug.
Most of my life, I hid myself, my true self, from all of you.
But that was never really real. But that was never there at all.
I need you to know who I really am.
Home is doing the next right thing.
I've been clean since the day I left this home. That's 24 months. My 2-year birthday. I'm 2 years sober, 2 years old, a child who now and always will love all of you.
Come home, lost child. It's safe and warm. You can smile even when you're alone, as long as you're home.
The stage is dark. Slowly the lights come up to reveal a desperate-looking man. The man is a recovering addict. He has spent time behind bars. He has a story to tell. He wonders, even as he speaks, if his story will ever be heard.
Because